And we're back for round 2 of the Yngwie versus Squier Vintage Modified shootouts. Last week, Yngwie went against the See-Through Blonde Vintage Modified with the Indian Laurel fretboard. This week, Yngwie's got to contend with the Vintage Modified 70's with Rosewood. Vintage White also. So we'll have a little tone comparison between these two. I bought this guitar last year, and I've shot a lot of YouTube videos with it. This is the Vintage White I always knew about. My older Yngwie Strats were more this color, and this here seems to be more of an antique white. Fender still calls this Vintage White, but I believe Fender's Vintage White used to be that color, because the new Yngwie model Strats are more this color, and I would call that antique white, but you can see the difference there. Yngwie's completely stock. I changed and modified some knobs and covers. That's it. Everything else completely stock. Squier Vintage Modified 100% stock. Someone asked me about playability of the guitars. Playability differences. They are real similar. The pickups are adjusted the same. They have the same strings on them. Diodario 9 through 42. Actions sit the same. Neck relief sit the same. Everything's the same. One's got a scallop neck, one doesn't. Next week I'm going to do a video comparing this one with the other modified, because some people are saying that wood doesn't have anything to do with the tone. So that'll be an upcoming video. I'm going to show that two identical guitars, different wood, sound different. Alright, so I'm going to play through riffs back and forth between these two guitars. I think you're going to see why this one was my favorite. Alright, what did you think of these two? My impression of the sound is the AliExpress is clearer, there's more clarity, less mid-range, whereas the Squier Vintage Modified with the Duncan designs, it has like a warm mid-range and there's less clarity. They sound good, but there's just less clarity there. This feels like a much higher quality instrument. Anyways, I'll put up a poll so you can vote, see which one you like better. Consider subscribing because next week I'm going to compare all three of them. You'll get to hear the two Vintage Modifieds against the AliExpress, all three of them. So I'll do that video next week, and then we'll chill out for a little while. We'll let the Chender haters calm down for a while. Thank you everybody for checking the video out. Hopefully this tone comparison helped. And see you later. I got kind of bummed out last video because I didn't have this guitar with me. It was in storage, and this is my favorite Stratocaster, and I had to do the shootout between Yngwie and the other Vintage Modified. So at the end of that video, I was all bummed out wanting to sell some guitars. I'll never sell these guitars. I'm happy with the guitars, especially this guitar right here. I have never in my life seen a guitar make more people angry. I delete all of the hate comments because I am a small channel. But see, here's the thing, guys. If you attack me personally, I'm not going to feel all bad about it and write a sad song like Stevie T does. Go ahead and spend your 45 minutes composing a message, and I'll just click one button and delete and block that ass. Oh, I'm just so fat. And people say I can't play, and I'm a guitar hacker. There's your song. That's all. That's the only song you're gonna get. I'll start leaving the hate comments on the guitar, but don't attack me personally. So on my channel, Chender Yngwie has his own playlist. I bought this guitar last year, and I've shot a lot of YouTube videos with it. So for you haters that sit there foaming at the mouth, typing on the keyboard, just go on over to that playlist and get a full-on hate extravaganza going on. I want to touch on some video comments from the last video real quick. I mentioned that if your budget was $500, this is the best Stratocaster you can get without jumping up to an American Special. Let me clarify that a little bit. I prefer the large headstock CBS Strats. I gotta have a large CBS headstock. But even that taken out of the equation, this Duncan loaded Indonesian vintage modified Squier will stomp out any Jap Strat you want to bring, and bring all your Mexican models too. And I'll stomp them out like Dennis Leary stomping out a cigarette. In regards to Chender Yngwie, Yngwie's got some fresh haterade for you on tap, and he's about to serve you a glass.